I'm passionate about helping families help their struggling reader, but finding time to do so is one of the hardest things in the world. The families I speak with say that they cannot find time to work with their child consistently, and your child needs consistent reading practice. In this video, I'm going to share 3 ways to get that reading practice scheduled and make it consistent. You're watching Reading with Allison, and I'm Allison DeFrees. So before we go any further, I want to let you know that there are 3 truths we should agree on in the challenge of finding time to work with your reader. The first is that no one else can find time for you. This is your job. Number 2, it is a very hard thing to do. And number 3, your child depends on you to do this. So, with those 3 truths in mind, I want to let you know that this video has a companion worksheet. You can find it in the links below or at my website, AllisonDeFrees.com/time. So, with that in mind, let's review the 3 steps you can take to find time in your calendar to help your struggling reader. The first thing you can do is put it in your calendar. This is the hardest step to do because our calendars are full already. They're full with our work commitments, they're full with our personal commitments, and it seems that our other commitments or our other family members steal our time, or we are giving our time to them. For example, we are helping our children pack their lunch, or we are feeding them dinner, or we are bathing them. Those are very important things to be doing as a parent, but they are taking away, or they are tasks that fill up your day. So if you want to make some time in your calendar to support your child's reading skills, we need to put it in the calendar through 3 different methods: deleting, delegating, and adding. Let's start with deleting. Look at your weekly schedule and what can you delete from it in order to help your child with their reading. So the question is, what can you delete from your weekly commitments that will allow you time to help your child? Maybe this is attending a PTA meeting where you are just a member of the PTA and instead reading the PTA minutes after the meeting happens. Maybe deleting something looks like saying no to going out to dinner with your friends. Perhaps this is a season of your life where some things get deleted during the days that you want to work with your child. Now, it's totally okay to move those things around. A PTA meeting you can't probably have control over, but you can suggest to your friends another night to meet with them for dinner. So the first thing to do when you're evaluating your weekly schedule is to look at what you can delete from it in order to make time to help your child. The second thing to do is to delegate. What is on your full plate that you can delegate to somebody else? Do you have an older child who should be packing his own lunch or doing the dishes? Sometimes delegating is going to take some time. For example, you could be the PTA chair, and you can't suddenly delete those responsibilities and say, I'm not attending any more meetings. You can delegate, use the delegation strategy over time. So you can say, this will be my last term as PTA chair, and when this term is over, I will be stepping back. So what in your life do you need to delegate to somebody else or take a back seat on just for this season while you are helping your child? Those things, identifying those things, can help you get more time with your child. So looking at your weekly calendar, hopefully you've deleted some things that really aren't that necessary at this time in this season, and you've delegated some things. Feel free to get creative with that. Like I mentioned, you can delegate to an older child. Maybe there are other creative ways in your life you can get creative on delegating. The last thing to do is add. Add the time that you will spend helping your child with their reading skills. Different people choose to do this in different ways. I would recommend thinking about the time that's been recommended to your child for reading practice. Often it's 2 hours a week. So then take that recommended time and add it to your calendar. what are the days that are going to be best for you to help your child? Maybe it's Tuesday, Thursday, maybe it's Saturday, Sunday. What is best for you? And then think about what is best for your child, what day works for your child. You don't want to pick the day where you've signed them up for soccer and scouts in the same night. So pick another day. And then finally, think about what time of the day is going to be best for that child. And you know your child best. For some children, it's 3:30 in the afternoon until 4:30 or 4:15. And for some children, they like to start, or they're really good at that 4:30 time, 4:30 to 5 or so. Like, think about what's going to be best for that child. And for some children, it's Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoons. Just think about your child and add the practice time to the calendar. Now, we need to take this one step further, which is to acknowledge that you are going to need some time to plan and prepare for these sessions, for these practice sessions with your struggling reader. So when are you going to watch videos like this one? When are you going to practice your flashcards? When are you going to sketch out your plan and map out your path to success for your child? So right now, while you're thinking about it, or if you're filling out that worksheet I mentioned, think about when do you like to work and when can you get some quiet time to do the learning you need to do in order to show up as your best self for your child. So go ahead and write that down. For some of you, it's going to look like Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock or Monday evening at 8 p.m. Whatever is best for you, write it down, put it in the calendar, and commit to it. So far we've talked about the best way to get consistent reading practice is to put it in your calendar. The second thing we can do to get consistent reading practice is to acknowledge that this is a period of transition. And this transition could take you, depending on the child, a few weeks. Let me tell you a story about this. I have a young child and she just began daycare. The teachers at daycare told me that it would take my daughter 2 to 3 weeks to adjust to daycare, to be excited to play with her new little friends when I drop her off, or to be excited to be in that space when I drop her off. So for the first 2 to 3 weeks of me dropping her off, when she cried or when I cried, I told myself she is safe, this will take some time, and it's worth it. So I just repeated that as I dropped her off. I repeated it as I cried in the car. I repeated it and repeated it for 2 to 3 weeks. And you know what? It was the truth. It took 2 to 3 weeks, and she is just fine. She has her little friends. Drop off is no big deal. And that's how this will become in your life. When you are showing up for your child for reading practice 2 to 3 times a week, and you're doing this consistently for 2 to 3 weeks, it will begin to feel like a new habit, a new routine, a new rhythm of life for your family. So step number 2 is to allow a period of transition and know that it's going to happen. All right, in review, number 1, put it in your calendar. Number 2, allow for transition time. The third step that I want to share with you today for how to make time or find time to work with your struggling reader is to be consistent. Your child is looking towards you for cues on this. They are watching you. And if you are consistent, this pattern will be formed. Now, there's this concept. It's very annoying that when you declare something to happen, or when you declare you're going to do something, pretty immediately an interruption occurs. So when you declare that you are going to work with your child on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3:30 p.m., pretty soon your child's going to get the flu, or you will have a migraine on the first or second day, or it will be your child's birthday on that Thursday. Some kind of interruption might occur, and it will test your consistency. It will be an opportunity for your child to watch you and say, okay, well, are mom and dad really going to follow through here? I mean, it's my birthday. Are they really going to make me practice on my birthday? Yes. The short answer is yes. Like I said, this is an opportunity for you to be consistent and for you to follow through because you are the leader of your family and your child is watching you. So Do what you can during those times when you have a migraine or when your child celebrates their birthday, when you just started reading practice. Do your best to be consistent, and in 2 to 3 weeks' time, you will see that this is a rhythm and a pattern in your family. So, to wrap up today, we talked about adding this to your calendar, allowing for transition time, and being consistent. I want you to go to my website or click the link below to get the worksheet and fill it out. Share the results with anyone that needs to see them, such as your spouse. And as always, thank you for watching and happy reading.